Good morning, viewers at home. Welcome to the program SuperDawn. I am Vera Osopo.
And I am Anthony Osaibo. Good morning to the world. Vera, how are you?
Beautiful. It's a beautiful morning, and we're in Lagos. Well, some people have holiday today, and that's the Lagos state workers. They give holiday for them because the president is going to be in town. Or the president is in town.
Going to be in town. Then
Yes.
You think about it and you look at us. Do we have our holidays? We just
No, we can't have. We cannot have because we have to entertain you guys out there. While you're seated at home, enjoying yourself, we're going to make it more better for you. I'm telling you, just tune to Super Screen Television 2 for today and you won't regret. Well, today on this show, we're going to go through the papers as usual and open the phone lines. Away from the papers, we want to look at towards 2019 election. Nigeria is in need, in need really, of a good leader. And in 2019, that will come up. Looking at what is happening in the country today, Nigerians are looking for someone that will take them out of troubled waters. And that person must have a vision, must be courageous, must have tenacity, must have an understanding of governance, must know what the people want. Of course, what is democracy? It's about the people. And so Nigerians will be looking for that leader that can help them out of what they believe that, to be that, hey, this country is not the way it should go. And again, it must interest you to note that come 2019, the incumbent president, I'm talking about President Muhammadu Buhari, will be contesting, might want to come back with the All Progressive Congress. And so it's a time where we need to begin to look at it very well. If you know that you want a better leadership or you want a strong leader that would take us out of corruption, economic woes, that would take us out of some challenges we are facing in the country. It is 2019. And so we want to look at lots of things that have been happening because of elections. Parties we have, more parties want to be registered, and all of that today in this edition of the program. So we'll open the phone lines when that time comes for you to call, make your contributions. Well, we'll go on this break. When we come back, we'll take some of the stories making the rounds in the newspaper. Stay with us.
SuperDawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen Television. Let your voice be heard. Join us.
Welcome back. Well, we want to start with the newspaper review. We're starting with the Vanguard newspaper. APC ESCO tenor allegation. Why Oyego must go. And that's coming from Buhari, the president. And the writer says, President, APC governors are odd on Oyego at a stormy neck. The future of the Chief John Odige Oyego, led by a National Working Committee of the All Progressive Congress, APC, was set in an uncertain yesterday after President Muhammadu Buhari raised constitutional queries on the tenure extension plot for the party executives. Well, this happened yesterday, and it was a stormy session. President Buhari's assertion at the stormy closed-door session of the 5th National Executive Committee, neck of the ruling party, compelled the setting up of a committee to review the motion adopted at the 4th neck for extension of the tenure of the executive of the party across all levels. Well, this has been causing some arguments, right, left, center in the party, and I just sat down yesterday and I was just smiling. I said, what's about tenor and no tenor?
Well, I guess what's important most is that we move the country forward. That's what I feel.
Yes.
And looking at the Oyun case, well, I'm very indifferent with everything, but I guess the president has his reasons.
Okay, he has. No, he said it's constitutional rights. He looked at the Constitution and that. But I'll tell you what some people have said. The president has spoken Tinubu. The national leader of the party, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was absent at the National Caucus meeting yesterday, presenting his birthday tomorrow, that's today, was quick to welcome the president's stance as a good gesture to the principle of internal democracy. It's all about their party. But PDP has this to say: APC and chaos in Nigeria. PDP, however, said that the confusion in the APC was a clear reflection of chaos and disorderliness that is the hallmark of its government. Well, that is from trust this from the PDP.
Definitely, the PDP, the APC, they've been going head-to-head ever since the crisis of the Boko Haram insurgents, since their inception. So definitely, these inter-party criticisms will always come up.
Definitely, it's part of politicking. Okay, we have this. Your apology not enough. Return looted funds. Federal government tells PDP. You were elected with looted funds. PDP replied APC. That's the drama that is going through. But let me read. The federal government yesterday taunted People's Democratic Party, PDP, asking it to complete its apology to Nigerians by returning all the funds looted from the public treasury during its 16 years in power. PDP on Monday reflected on its 16 years stewardship and admitted it made mistakes and asked Nigerians to forgive its wrongdoings. The national chairman of the PDP, Prince Uche Secondus, who spoke at the public discourse, said the party was sorry for its mistakes. But mixed reaction trailed that apology, and this from Mohammed. He says, it will be suicidal for Nigerians to believe PDP. Mohammed. The Second Republic lawmaker, Dr. Junaid Mohammed, said it will be suicidal for Nigerians to believe or give the PDP audience. Also, this from Babatokpe, a member of the PDP Board of Trustees, Chief Ebenezer Babatokpe, justified the apology, saying that was a good statement by the national chairman of their party. He knew that mistake had been made, and for the party to move forward, they need to apologize. Etebet says this: PDP should return looted funds instead of apologizing. Counter reactions to that. We also have this $186 million affirm fast power to add 240 watts to national grid, says the federal government in Oyigbo. The $186 million affirm last power project will be ready for commissioning next month, the federal government has announced. The project, tagged Power on the Wheel, initiated by the All Progressive Congress APC government in 2016, will add 240 megawatts of electricity to the national grid when it's fully become operational. I can't wait.
Definitely.
Anything to do with power, I just can't wait.
Power.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm tired of buying fuel for 145 per liter. I can just wait.
You know, we had a Vox Pop recently, and we asked the question. We said, what is one thing that you feel the government should work on? And you know, most people said they would love the government to work on power.
Yes.
I mean, power, electricity is one thing that is very vital in the economy. I can remember, I think two years ago, about 100 and something companies left Nigeria because of power failure. Come on.
How will you gain? What kind of business will you be doing running the way Super Screen is running on diesel and fuel? 18 hours.
18
how
hours.
are you going to gain? How are you going to pay staffs?
And it's definitely going to inflict the prices of everything.
Yes.
Because the fuel, power, these are one thing in the economy that inflicts prices of everything. So yes.
Okay, we have this final one from the Vanguard. Nigeria Bar Association, NBA, Keju branch, and members of the civil society group on the platform of Joint Action Front, as the JAF, yesterday worked out a public hearing on the controversial Lagos State land use charge. That's the law as amended in 2018, organized by a 6-man ad hoc committee of the State House of Assembly, expressing dissatisfactions with the proceedings adopted by the Assembly. This happened yesterday, and they just walked out, saying this is not working. But you have another story there?
Okay, yeah, on the Daily Trust newspaper, we have federal government under pressure to ban plastic bags. I'm not going to take that story, but when you look at it, what's that supposed to mean? Anyway, APC to hold convention as Buhari declares tenure extension illegal. The ruling All Progressive Congress, APC, will in the coming days announce a date for its national convention to elect new leaders, sources told the Daily Trust yesterday. This became necessary after President Muhammadu Buhari yesterday declared as illegal the extension of tenure of current party leaders led by Oyegun by 1 year.
Yes.
Anyway, we have here, federal government declares Friday and Monday public holidays. Woohoo! A lot of people will be happy about that. Except that we still working.
Yeah, but it's interesting. It's good that we're working. And it's good for you to tune in and to see us. We're going to be here.
Definitely.
Anthony and I will definitely be here.
You'll be at home sitting down. We'll make sure you tune in and watch us. We have Senate debates, T.Y. Danjuma's comments on military today. And that's on page 3 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Okay, here it says the Senate will today debate allegations by a former defense minister, Lieutenant General Theophilus Yakubu Danjuma, accusing the Nigerian armed forces of colluding with bandits to kill innocent citizens. The resolution followed the points of order by Senator Yusuf during plenary sessions yesterday. Okay, so the Senate will definitely debate on that. We hope to get their hearing, the verdict and everything. Nigerian lawmaker's son shot dead in London. Sorry about that. Then we have Senate begins process to override Buhari on the election sequence. The Senate yesterday commenced move to override President Muhammadu Buhari's on the amendments to the 2010 Electoral Act, a bill that affects tagged Electoral Act 2010 bill. 2018 sponsored by Senator Sulaiman Nasifi, APC Bauchi, was introduced during yesterday's plenary session. Okay, the sequence again, they are still arguing about, everybody's going back and forth, the Senate, Buhari, about the sequence, but like we always say right here on the show, it's not really about the sequence, it's not about the timetable, it's not about who comes first or not. Make sure you do your research and get your voter's card, go out there and vote for who is credible, who you feel is credible for leadership, because at the end of the day, listen, we understand that this country has to go forward by all means. APC to hold convention as Buhari declares tenure extension illegal. We've taken that. National Assembly extends 2017 budget to May. The National Assembly has extended implementations of the 2017 budget till May 3rd, following delay in passage of the 2018 budget. This was disclosed during a public hearing on the 2018 budget organized by the National Assembly Joint Committee on Appropriation. The public hearing, which was declared open by Senate President Bukola Saraki, was extended by Speaker Yakubu Daraga. Chairman of the House Committee on Appropriation, I'm just going to quote what Mustafa Bala said. He said, "We were told that the Office of the Accountant General is expected to close the accounts by March ending. We have written a letter yesterday drawing his attention to the fact that the budget should be extended to May 31 this year." Personally, I feel that it's only right that this comes out well. It comes out ASAP. I mean, let's just know the budget. Let's let the funds be allocated and let the implementation just start. In as much as we are patient.
I don't know why they are delaying, but let them just start and
definitely
fix things up.
Definitely. That's the way I see it. Okay, lastly, I'll take this lastly. Choir bans night grazing. And here, clergies, Adiboye, Oedipo, and join to convene a national prayer summit. I think the country needs prayers, though. We need prayers.
But Delhi,
Definitely need prayers.
in need of God's hands upon this country. We need prayers. We need God to touch all of us. We need cleansing. I think we need cleansing. Where you sit and people kill at will.
Steal money at will.
Everything is just happening.
Just happening.
I think we need a touch from God. And maybe with the prayers of those men of God, even my pastor prayer, things will turn around for good. Well, I'll take some stories in the Punch this morning, and it says, we informed federal government, military of threats, soldiers' misconduct, says Taraba. And the writer says here, more may be killed unless military turns a new leaf. But military insists, they are saying, no letters from Taraba. We will take that story this morning. The Taraba state government on Tuesday said the federal government and the military were aware of security threats, as well as soldiers' misconduct in the state, but chose to do nothing about it. In a statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor of Taraba State on Media and Publicity, Mr. Bala Abu, the Taraba state government cited few instances that the federal government and the military were informed about security breach and soldiers' misconduct, which were allegedly ignored. But I'm going to also read the one the soldiers replied, and it says here, no letter from Taraba federal government. In their reaction, the Military of Defense and the Nigerian Army said they had yet to receive any official complaints from Taraba state government against troops in the state. Spokesperson for the Minister of Defense said the ministry welcomed complaints from the state government, adding that military would work promptly on issues. But I think the military also should begin to look at intelligent gathering, even without letters. You need to nose, like the journalists will nose for news. You need to begin to look at, ask people around, find out things around, and instead of waiting for letters, official letters.
True.
These are lives of people.
These
are lives of people. We also have here nearly 7 million Nigerians registered in 11 months. INEC, if you have not registered, please do so. This election is very important to all of us.
It's very important.
It's very important to all of us.
Our votes should count. Our votes will determine in the next 4 or 5 years how this country is going to be, whether it's going to move forward or stay the way it is, or even get worse.
Okay, we have the story. Federal government lawmaker's son killed in the UK. This again, and I think our external affairs, foreign affairs, they should begin to look into these killings of Nigerians outside the country. Ibrahim Raju, the son of member, House of Representatives, Lagos State Island Constituency 1, Dolapo Bardu, has been killed. The 26-year-old Ibrahim, who worked as a football coach after his master's degree at the UK, was shot dead in London around 11 p.m. on Sunday. Reported that the victims found fatally injured near his mother's house on the Peskliffs Road, that's in London. Abraham was the 10th person to be killed in London within 2 weeks. Had recently been honored with a bravery award by the police after saving a sex-attacked victim. This guy saved a sex-attacked victim. He even went to court and he stood as a witness. Could it be why they killed? And this news of saying in 2 weeks, in 2 weeks, recently in London, said, yeah, he was the 10th person to be killed in 2 weeks, 10th Nigerian. I think we should look at it. The South Africa, we do their own, and now in the UK, we have in Saudi Arabia, we have in Dubai, lots of Nigerians have been killed. I think our government needs to step up right now. Anthony, what do you think?
Definitely, they need to step up. And when you think about it, you see it's Nigerians. Nigerians, we are supposed to be that country, that skin, that people that people love. You know, when you go around, if you travel out and you ask about Nigerians, you get to understand, you get to get replies that Nigerians are loved everywhere. But in recent times, hearing these reports about the slavery, the South Africa occurrence, and now this,
and he was his mom's only child.
Now that's bad.
This is not a good news.
That's sad. That's sad.
I don't know. I don't know how I'm feeling right now.
This is racism.
I don't know if I'm shivering here.
This is not supposed to be.
I think our government needs to step up. We need to look into this case. You cannot just keep taking people's life. If it's the United States, they won't take that. So Nigerians, our government has to do something about this particular one. Not because he's the son of a member of the House of Assembly, no. Because he's a Nigerian. He's a Nigerian.
That's it. Nigerians first before any other thing. Be it being a son of anybody or culture or the whereabouts. A Nigerian is a Nigerian, an African is an African.
This is sad. We have this. Atiku Knox, APC, says federal government has failed Nigeria. And we also have this. National Assembly backs Big Guilt, urges investment in health and education. Autumn backs Danjuma's self-defense call, and the writer says Saraki okay's motion on comment. Easter. Federal government declares Friday and Monday as public holiday. I know someone will say, hee, that's it, they are going to rest. But we are not resting.
No.
We're going to, very interesting story here. This are questions. Dapchi girls abduction. Some unanswered question. You want to know some answered question? Get hold of that punch this morning. Yes.
Okay, on the New Telegraph, we have FAC ends stalemate over 37.7 billion naira shortfall. For the second time in 4 months, the Federation Account Allocation Committee meeting again ended in a stalemate yesterday due to 37.76 billion naira revenue shortfall. Consequently, bleak Easter awaits civil servants as they have to wait longer for their monthly salaries. The stakeholders, which include state commissioners for finance and their auditors general, faulted the account details presented by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC. Well, you could get hold of the newspaper, the New Telegraph, to get more of that story. But this phrase that says, consequently, bleak Easter awaits civil servants as they have to wait longer for their monthly salaries.
Well, you know the month.
Well,
not all of them though. I know some of them will be taking the pays today, and some people will enjoy their Easter. Salaries, no salaries. I keep telling people, try to make yourself happy.
That's it.
You know, you are alive. Some people are in the hospital in pains. They don't have salaries. They are in pains. We pray that employers of labor will pay salaries today so that people can enjoy their Easter, have a beautiful Easter Sunday. And on Monday, maybe take their families out. After my program, after the day's work on Monday, I might just check into a private beach and enjoy myself. So please pay salaries so that people can have fun during this period.
Definitely. And when you think about it, the concept of Easter, you know, the reason of Easter when Christ rose for us, I think that's enough reason to be happy. That's it.
It's enough.
Okay.
But they should pay salaries.
Definitely.
They should pay salaries. We like to be preaching that, but they should pay salaries.
Yes. Federal government to PDP, forget apology, return looted funds. Dixon woos investors from Côte d'Ivoire. 2019 election. Atiku flags off presidential campaign. Okay. The campaign has started. And we have EFCC recovers 2.4 billion from ex-air chief. Wife surrenders 383 million naira. Okay, let's take that story.
Please do take that story, because when I begin to hear all these billions and millions, And I just look at Nigerians and I say, hey, God will help us. Even though hearing the amount, there's something He does to the body.
Seriously, psychologically, like.
But you know, we're going to get there. We're going to get legitimate monies for ourselves. Yes.
An investigative officer with Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Tosin Owobo, yesterday told Justice Mohammed Idris of a federal high court in Lagos that the sums of 2.4 billion naira and $115,000 have been recovered from a former chief of air staff, Air Vice Marshal Adisola Amosun, retired though. Also, the Anti-Graft Commission recovered 383 million naira from Amosun's wife, Omolara. Owobo made a disclosure while testifying in an ongoing trial of the Amosu and 10 others for over alleged 22.8 billion naira fraud. The former chief of air staff was on June 29, 2016, arraigned by the Anti-Graft Agency alongside Air Vice Marshal Jacob Bola Adigun, Air Comrade. Okay, they just listed their names here. The companies are, they just listed the names of the companies, but that's it generally.
Yes.
Now, when you think about it, like this money, 2.4 billion naira.
No, the money is the amount, the figures you're calling. It's making me feel, oh God, this country keep hearing big figures. But EFCC recovered such monies. I hope they'll take it to the coffers of the federal government. Definitely. And I also hope that the federal government will use it judiciously, and so that it will drive down to the people, where, not the grassroots, the people. The people, where everybody can feel it. I can feel it. Anthony can feel it, because hearing this kind of amount,
I mean, some people's whole life, they've not spent that kind of money. They've not spent all that money. When you
have you seen such?
Well, I wouldn't say I've seen.
Have you seen?
I wouldn't have said
I've not seen billions, but I've heard trillions. I read trillions and billions, and they took billions. But I
you just read it.
But I will get it. No, I will get there. I'll get there. That's why we work hard. That's why you leave home very early. Why do you think you leave home so early?
Yes,
we'll get there someday.
Definitely. Afenifere asks UNFG to investigate Danjuma's allegation. The Pan-Yoruba social political group Afenifere yesterday called on the United Nations UN Rapporteur on genocides to investigate the various killings in the country and the complicity of the armed forces in the killings as alleged by former Defense Minister Lieutenant General Theophilus Danjuma.
Yes, I think they need to dip into it. We're all looking for solutions. If a man that was a defense minister before had come up with this kind of allegations, then I think we don't need to just push that aside and say it's an anarchy or whatever. I think we need to dip deep. Like today's paper we read in the Punch, the Taraba government said that they informed the military about threats, but nothing was done, although the military also came up today to saying that we didn't get any letter of such. But I think they still need to go further and begin to look deep and investigate, find out, is it true? Those soldiers, were they guilty? The army, are they doing what they should do? What happened there when you hear that shortly, immediately, the army just vacated a particular area, these people came again to attack, or they are very close by and they're attacking? I think they need to really look into what Lieutenant General Danjuma had said. We call it bad belly, bad faith, but in good faith, looking at how we can get more information and how that will help the situation, the security challenges in Nigeria.
Definitely. Now here goes: leakage from NNPC pipelines killing us, Lagos community. Residents of Barua community in Lagos have accused the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, of killing members of the area with leakage from its pipelines for about 22 years without making any significant efforts to address the challenge. This was a report of a 4-year research sponsored by the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, has indicated the cooperation of polluting the community's groundwater through the continuous leakage of the pipelines laid through the community. Okay, the leakage of the pipelines are contaminating the drinking water, the groundwater of the community, and I think it's only right that the federal government, the state governments, who is in charge, the NNPC, to look into the situation and, you know, curb the situation, just so people will stop getting infected. I mean, water is a source of life.
They should just look at it. You know, you go to the hospital every day, you don't know what is causing that. I think they should need to look into that.
Okay, here goes. Benue killings. Buhari promises to rehabilitate 175,000 IDPs. Amen. Okay, the last story I'll take on this newspaper, it's actually an editorial. You can get hold of the newspaper to check it out. This is Eating Less, Key to Live Long. Okay, I'll take that again. Eating Less, a key to live long.
Okay, eating less, a key to live long.
Wow.
You eat and eat and eat and eat until someone is saying it's okay.
Yeah, they're talking to me.
Don't eat too much. Be careful. Be careful with your meals. Eat little portion, but eat right. I think what they're saying there is not eat too much, but you eat right. That's a way to eat. I never knew until I began to grow a bit older. Definitely. I begin to know that.
Well, I guess this was for me because, you know, I eat like, you know, say 8 times a day.
Okay. You eat and eat and eat and eat non-stop.
Okay.
And I'm not seeing that in you. The eating. I'm not seeing that in you.
It's all good.
But Anthony can eat like this. He should be careful. I'm trying to. I think I'm not going to lose weight again. I've been trying to cut down in my diet, but maybe I'll just add some. While you open the phone lines, we're going on a break right now. When we come back, we want to look towards 2019 election. It's very critical as the All Progressive Congress will want to return back definitely for that ticket. So we want to look at all of these issues surrounding the elections. We're looking at people had said that Nigerians looking from the INEC point, voters register, voters card. We're looking from political other parties that is brazen up to take over. We're going to be looking at other issues ahead of 2019 election. Let's go on a break. And when we come back, the lines are already open for you to call and make your contributions.
SuperDawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us. SuperDawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us.
Welcome back. We're looking towards 2019 election. I don't know, no matter how you see it, next year's election is going to be a tough one, where the incumbent, President Muhammadu Buhari, and the All Progressive Congress will be seeking a renewal of their mandate, and also where other political parties will be seeking that seat, wanting to sit on that powerful seats come 2019. It's going to be interesting, but discussing this morning, we have a guest in the studio, a legal practitioner, Destiny Tankon. Good morning to you.
Thank you, Vera, and good morning, viewers. Good to be here again.
Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Thank you.
Yes, I know that Nigeria needs a visionary leader, leaders with tenacity, a leader that can give them what they deserve. Looking ahead of 2019 election, what do you think?
I am hopeful for real change. I am hopeful that this country, Nigerians would understand that, without that apathy has been a problem to us. There are lots of Nigerians who, out of well over, I want to estimate fairly, maybe 100 million qualified voters, and then usually you might have about maybe 70 or 80 million registered. On the day of elections, you have just about 30 million coming out to vote. That has been a major problem. I talked about it here, I remember, I think about the last episode. I came to say that is why rigging is always possible. So we want a government that truly represents the will of the people at every time, not even just for 2019. And that rests much more with the people, much more with the people. That is why you can see that apart from INEC and the newspapers, on social media you see individuals who want to sensitize, the populace, say, go out and get your PVC. Go out and get your voter's card. It is very, very important, because without the voter's card you cannot determine what happens. And a lot of people will say, whether I vote or not, it doesn't matter. No, it does matter, because they will do what they have to do. That is what actually ushers in bad government. That's what ushers in bad people in government, incompetent people in government. You know, cabals who sit and hijack the process. Now, we heard about hijacking of ballot boxes, you know, in the course of our electoral history. Why is that possible? When they hijack them, they go on to print, you know, and I can say at my station in life and as a legal practitioner that where ballot boxes are hijacked and they do all the tone printing, you know, it tells, because apart from the fact that, especially these days, with smartphones and everything, where people could be there on real time, recording and saying elections never took place here. You know, from this time to this time we were here, there was no election, you know, and so when you go on to print and come back, of course, that election can be set aside very easily, you know, of course, trusting that the judicial, the tribunals will keep doing the right thing and having to stand up to uphold, you know, the law. So you see, what happens when you come out and vote is that you don't leave materials for them to print. You know, if you have 100% and 70 or 80% turn out to vote, you know, 100% as in for each polling unit, and out of that 100%, 70, 80 turnout, it becomes very difficult for rigging to take place. They can at least print the other 30%, and that will not substantially affect, you know, the entire result. So that's the first responsibility for Nigerians. Get your PVC, come out in the elections and vote, and in addition to that, do not go after money.
Okay, we'll come back to that, because there are loads of things we want to look at. And for this discussion is very important. Anthony.
Let me ask this question. You said rigging is possible because less people come out to vote.
Exactly.
Now, given your point, don't you think it should fall on the intransparency of the people who are coordinating these elections? It should fall on them because they are not being transparent enough, as a point you mentioned. So shouldn't it be like the job of the government to provide security, to provide a sort of
checkmates all of those things, the elections,
making it viewable to the public?
Just checkmate it, yes, look at it.
Well, yeah, totally agree. It is the responsibility of government primarily, you know, to ensure that. But of course, as I said, electoral history has not been that. That's how we have always cried about the integrity of the electoral process. 2015 was the most transparent election we've ever had in this country, as far as transparency or integrity of the process is concerned. In fact, even the incumbent president talked about it. That was why he was able to come on board and become president. If the government of the day had decided to toe the path of past governments, he probably wouldn't have made it, no matter what, even if they had brought all the juveniles in Kano and wherever and printed. He still wouldn't have made it.
Okay, I'm going to take you back to that 2015 elections, because when you started, you gave an impression that Nigerians don't like to come out and vote. But in 2015, the last election, they came out and they voted. Do you think Nigerians cannot do that in the next election come 2019?
Nigerians didn't come out to vote.
So how did they merge? How did it work?
What just happened, I said, the process was more transparent. How many votes ushered Buhari into government? Barely about 30 million votes or something.
But that was something. That was the change.
No, I'm saying that they did not come out to vote. I'm trying to say that to stress the point I made from the beginning. It's only that the process was transparent. You know, of course, if 100 million people register and 20 million come, it is all who come out on the day of election that determine the results, you know. And then, of course, what happens, as I've said, with the remaining ballot papers that people don't show up. So we're saying that if we have 80 million registered voters, let us have 65, 70 million of them come out. Yeah, when they do that, it becomes very difficult.
Okay, what do you think makes people don't come out? What do you think makes people not come out to vote? By
bad governance in the past, as it were, you know, and the fact that the electoral process had lacked transparency or integrity, where people know that, you know, we voted this party, how come this party this is the one that won, or this candidate, and how come this candidate is the one that won? So people develop apathy, saying, look, what's the point, whether I go there or not? But you see, at the end of the day, the government of the day determines your entire life, as it were. Even if you were professional, you were in any sort of a business person, a trader, because the policies of government determine your life. So that's where the problem is. It affects the rent you pay or the rent you get if you have your own house. It affects the prices of other services and goods as well, basic needs. It affects all of that. So when you usher in a government that is just irresponsible, that does not take into consideration the well-being or welfare of the citizenry, and of course the best interest of the nation, everybody suffers. But because we allowed bad people to go in there.
Could this be a regional thing? I mean, people not coming out to vote. Because in the north, there are cases where allegedly that they were underage votings.
Yes, I alluded to that.
That means these people crave for power this much. It means these people actually want the people that they want to be in power to be in power. So is this kind of like a regional thing? Is it that on the west and the south we think somehow that does not favor we coming down to vote, or that? I mean, what's the instance here?
Well, I'm not speaking generally, as it were, that this should apply to all over the country. But of course, yes, if you look at the statistics of the 2015 elections, you would say that indeed people came out more in the north to vote than in the south. You had states where the whole state had only about 400,000 votes, whereas in almost every northern state, as it were, the core north especially, apart from the middle belt, you had virtually 100% turnout, and of course votes counted for each of the ballot of the polling booths. That was what happened. So I agree that going by the statistics of the 2015 elections, it showed that the core north especially, far north, responded more. People came out more, supposedly, to vote.
I know that in elections also there are tribunals, tribunal elections. That means the judiciary, they are key when we look at elections as well. Because some people would disagree with you, I guess, and go to the judiciary. Is our judiciary well enough to handle elections come 2019?
Our judiciary proved that very well indeed in the elections of 2011. Our judiciary proved that it's capable of, where, of course, you see, this whole thing doesn't just lie with the judiciary. It starts with, as I said, if every other participant, or stakeholder in the electoral process has done the right thing, it becomes very easy for the tribunals or the judiciary to work. Where people come out and then thumbprint, because usually in the tribunals it will be said, bring out the ballot papers, let us count them. So where people don't turn out, and of course I say also this day we're enabled with smartphones, technology to be able to proffer a lot more better evidence. So it usually showed that in 2011 up to 2015 elections, you saw that so many people were unseated, across the country. The tribunals sent a lot of people back home from the National Assembly, from the state assemblies, from even local governments, and governorship elections, and so we saw all of that. So I think that the judiciary is part of Nigeria.
Okay.
As we're evolving a better society, the judiciary is also,
we'll come back to that.
Can record better performance.
We'll come back to that. Sorry about that, but we have a caller. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Bear.
Good morning. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Dapo from Everton.
Okay, Dapo, go ahead.
Yes, on the 2019 election, and in your briefings, you are saying that President Buhari and APC will be seeking renewal.
Might be seeking, sorry.
Might seeking renewal of mandate.
Yes.
And other parties too will be seeking a constitution.
Good.
And I said that I don't see how
What about corruption? Let me help you out.
What about what?
Corruption.
As a matter of fact, you find more corruption in this government more than anything.
Really?
You can see the case of Secretary of the NHIS, where the minister suspended the secretary to the NHIS for 919 million fraud, and President Buhari reinstated this person. You can see the case of Maina, that President Buhari sent the Attorney General of the Federation to go and meet Maina, and they reinstated Maina, and even promoted him. We can see the case of Babachi Alawa, where the National Assembly also forwarded a report to the president, and he will only remove him from office, and nothing happened. And what I'm saying is this, that even, you can even see this administration, you see President Buhari, where even the Takizaki, the court said release this person. If you have any case against him, take him to court. Over 2 years now, impunity, they are still holding him. You can see in the case of Dasuki.
We don't have much time. Can you kindly please wrap it up? That
okay. So I'm just saying that I do if then let me now answer your guest there on the issue of whether you have your PVC. You see, the only way that this thing can work is that yes, if you have your PVC, and what the National Assembly has done by introducing the candidate into the Electoral Act, and the president is not saying he will not sign because he knows that with that candidate, because in 2015, that was what the Supreme Court said, that the National Assembly did not put candidate as a means or a process of electoral determination. And for that reason, they have to dismiss certain cases because the National Assembly did not put that in the electoral. Now they have put it in the electoral, and the president is saying he's not going to accept to that. So let them override that software so that we can have what do you call it, the candidate, so that whatever result you are getting from the polling unit, even with your PVC, then it's going to agree with what you have in the candidate.
Okay.
So there's no question of underage or anything.
Thank you, Dakpo. That's taken. Yes, we heard what Dakpo said.
He came loaded. He impressed me. You asked for it.
Well, no, because some other people also said that the president had tried in corruption cases, where some people you don't know that they put monies underneath the roof, underneath their where toilet seats and the rest, but these have been exposed.
Well, it is not the first time that is happening in this country. So that was, as I said, I agree with him entirely. You know, of course, if the president was a beneficiary of the card reader, you know, and what led substantially to the transparency of the election of 2015, why would he want to shy away from it? If there are no underpinnings, undertones, some ulterior motives, you know, we expect this country deserves the best. I am very piqued at my station level as a Nigerian, seeing what is happening in my country today. And I want also to have an electoral system or process where the people's will prevail, not the will of brigands or cabals or cliques who decide to hold on to power.
So how can we allow the people's will prevail? How can we? Because it's our responsibility.
Transparency. Let the corridor, the e-voting system should be at its best. Let's try it even before 2019 to ensure that real time, as a person votes, it is recording straight on.
Do we have a party that can contest with this present administration with the way things are going? Have you seen parties that can fit in?
Of course. Apart from the strongest opposition we have so far is the PDP, you know, and of course, without having to, because of time, x-ray what is inspired, you know, Nigerians gave the APC the opportunity to come on board because they thought that they had something better. They had lots of promises which have turned out to be unfulfilled. And the APC should allow Nigerians, the same way as they decided to kick out the PDP, to decide whether it's PDP, whether it's SDP, whether it's any other party they want to bring in this.
But is it easy to take over a party according to the APC? Is it easy to take over a party that they said everything is gone? The people looted the past administration looted the
That's
treasury.
what
But is it easy to take over and begin to start all over and begin to see a result immediately?
That is what PDP, that's what the APC is saying. The APC had indulged and continued to indulge in the blame game, in subterfuges, in blaming the PDP for the wars. But of course they said, we know the problems of this country before they came in. And we have the permission. We know how to fix Nigeria. We know what the problems of Nigeria, what the problems are. But they came on board and we saw that they started learning the ropes of governance. So it's not about that. Let Nigerians, it's not what APC is saying. PDP was bad, PDP looted, PDP did what? Let Nigerians determine that, all right? That's why I said, whether it's PDP Nigerians want back, whether it's SDP or any other party, give us a transparent electoral process. No, let the electoral process have integrity, and then we would know. It's not about what you say. When APC was in opposition, they said lots and lots of things against the PDP.
Definitely, there is APC, there is PDP, and there is this blame game going around. The PDP, the APC is blaming everything that happened right now on the PDP's past administration. And right now, the PDP is blaming the APC as regards the Dapchi killings, the Dapchi adoption, the herdsman killing and everything, saying it's a stage game and this whole thing is going around. How does a Nigerian just think about which party wants to go in?
It's simple. Nigerians are the onlookers. Nigerians are the judge of what is happening. Dapchi, herdsmen, all of that, what does that portend? Absence and total failure of security. And one of the things APC said, vote us because you need security. Vote us because there's insecurity in the country. And of course, as a Nigerian, I remember the president saying, in 3 months, I will deal with Boko Haram. It will be history. And this government has said, Boko Haram is tactically defeated. And then again, the same government with the same mouth, another side of the mouth, tells you about negotiations for Dapchi girls. They were released free. Boko Haram did this and that. And of course, they were voting $1 billion US, asking to use that to fight insurgency. Double speaking. But in all of this, as I've said, that's my take as a Nigerian. I have my PVC. On the day of election, I know what to do. Nigerians, why PDP and APC are throwing blames at each other, Nigerians are watching, and they have their minds made up.
Okay, what are the issues staring this administration in their face right now as against 2019 election? What are those issues you think is staring at their faces right now?
Nigerians?
No, APC, this administration.
APC.
What are the issues you think?
So many, for time, maybe to just say that it's important that APC is reminded that they got the opportunity to come on board, and this is 3 years on the line, to fix Nigeria. The perceived inadequacies, the problems of this country, what Nigerians saw and said, we have issues with this and with that, and we believe what this opposition party is saying. Let's give them a trial. They've had that trial, for 3 years down the line. Obama came on board, in the US, and, with the wrecked economy and everything and lots of, there was the depression, the recession at the time, and it didn't take up to 3 years to put back, the US on course. What we're saying is, it's not about whether you've had just 3 years, but Nigerians are looking at what is the focus of this. Where are we? Are we back on chart? Are we back on track? Where are we headed? Nigerians seeing, looking ahead and seeing prospect. That's what matters. It's not about whether PDP had 16 years.
Because I wanted to ask, is 3 years enough? I wanted to ask, is 3 years enough to fix this country?
That has been heard. I said, in 3 years, where is the focus? On what path are we? Are we on the path of recovery? That is what Nigerians are looking at.
Okay,
we will not have to, if we kicked out PDP because we thought that in 16 years you didn't do so much. And then today, after 3 years, we're looking back and saying, how much is a recharge card worth? How much is the price of Gary and rice? How much is school fees? How much is my rent? How much? A lot of indices to look at. Those are the things to tell how well you're faring. Those are simple indices to speak about the economy. There are lots of things to look at.
Okay.
Unemployment. and security.
You think
lots
about
of
everything.
things.
When it comes to transparency, we read on the papers today that PDP, the PDP actually came out to apologize that yes, they stole billions of naira.
They didn't say so already. And I heard what Secondus said. He didn't say that.
Okay, Secondus said they're apologizing for what
their
they
misdeeds. Misdeeds that may have occasioned,
yes.
you know, that's
but looking at these misdeeds and the apology, will that help now Nigerians?
It is honorable.
Because the federal government has said that, okay, fine, accepted, but you should return all the looted funds.
Well, that's what the APC is saying. The APC says return all the looted funds. Who looted funds? Why has the government not been able to go after the person if there's anybody who's looted funds? Is it by mere saying or gainsaying that return looted funds?
But remember that Dansuke is still somewhere.
Capable of going after those
Dansuke is still somewhere, and they mentioned some names of people still under EFCC
exactly. That's
net.
what we're saying.
Yes.
So why would you say return? Who is PDP an individual? PDP is a party. So it's not. It's part of what I think is a propaganda going on between PDP and APC to simply say return the looted funds. There have been so much funds looted in this country. The president is the Minister of Petroleum. NNPC is not accountable. A lot of funds don't retire even as we speak to CBN. And the president, who is the #1 fighter of corruption, sits and presides over the NNPC. And we're talking about fighting corruption. Now, that is not it. I've said Nigerians
we have to soon
what happens in 2019.
Okay, I want you to... Okay, Anthony.
Okay, fine. Now, we have both parties. They've had their time. And Nigerians are saying it's not really impressive enough. Would you advise that we go to new parties that we don't even know about their integrity, as the case may be?
Well, yeah, of course.
Okay, before you answer that question, let me get this call. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Yes.
Election is around the corner. And I know that there are a lot of things to be done. But at the end of the day, that's going to be very, very hard for them to achieve.
I think you need to turn down the volume of your TV set. It's echoing down here. Yes, go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead. I'm nodding. I think I don't know, it bases too much. We're trying to hear what you're saying. Hello? Okay, go ahead. Maybe you shouldn't put your phone very close to your mouth. Maybe that will help. Not too close. Okay, go ahead. Oh, I don't want us to lose that call. Anyway, thank you for calling, and that's going to be the last caller. Yes, we're rounding off right now.
Well, I'm writing up, as I've said, it is not enough to simply say PDP had 16 years. We will not want to say, because PDP had 16 years and they didn't do too well, we should give APC 16 years too. That would be 32 years in the life of a nation.
Democracy, yeah.
That would be very, very devastating. Now,
why do you say that? Because this barely started. It's just 3 years.
You've said that before, and I'm saying I'm talking as an Nigerian.
When you're saying that will be as though you're
32 years of the life of
that's
this
what I'm
nation.
saying. Yes.
Now, if PDP didn't do too well, but of course we're also saying when PDP was here and when APC is here, how have we fared? Are we any better economically or otherwise? That's the question
he asked. If those two parties are not doing well, what alternative do we have?
Now, before we even consider whether we're going back to PDP or APC,
yes,
I've said that I also brought in the SDP.
Yes.
I've said Nigeria will determine what party we're going to. But I've said, as between where we came from and where we are we better off where we are now